is
What happened?
competition is the soul of humanity. Kill or be killed. Eat or be eaten. Feast or famine. Destroy and conquer. Creation and annihilation. Now a new form of competition arises. A feat of mental fortitude unlike any other game before. A showing of brute strength unparalleled by any other sport on earth. And a brutality unwitnessed since the days of the gladiators of the Roman Colosseum. What else we talk about? This is Friday Night Drafts.
Yeah, I wasn't even feeling that hyped about today's draft, and now I'm ready to go. You know,
Man,
like
every
wow.
time I hear this song, I literally think of the Will Ferrell speech on Eastbound and Down.
Oh, that is such a huge.
I can feel it down my plums.
That's a
It's
huge
like a
compliment.
bluish hue.
It's about the best compliment I could receive.
Getting
Thank
ready
you,
to
dog.
take it from the farmer's market. That's what I think of when
That's
I hear
amazing.
that the sound.
That's the best. Yeah,
The Roman Colosseum.
Yeah, man.
Like, honestly, it just reminds me of his
I'm
big
glad that we
speech.
changed the name of the podcast. So that I had to come up with a new one.
Welcome everyone.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Brian, how you doing, man? What's up, dog?
Pretty good.
Yeah, ready for this shit, dog?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really feeling that ready. You know what, Brian? I feel like this week, I know I'd normally introduce this shit, but like, I'm so confused by how English works this week. That maybe you should tell the people
Yeah. So
what we're doing this week.
if you almost don't think about it, you tend to say book adaptations, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it seems like it makes sense, right? It's what we actually mean. But if you think about it, it's the opposite of what we
Yeah.
mean, which is books that have been made into something else.
And we were
Right.
drafting the best of those things that were
Made.
made.
So you would have an original book,
Okay.
and from there, it got made into something else, another medium.
Best adaptation of a book, and we're doing so. We'll
A
get into
book.
the rules of it. Well, it could be series of books, I guess, too. So we'll get into the rules of it. Does Yasha, you have anything you want to say? I just got to say, Yasha, you just look you're lying now. Guy doesn't. You can't tell on the camera right now.
He
but
uses that
He doesn't
toilet
have.
pillow more
This
than
guy
I do.
doesn't even have socks on. Like, let alone he's going sockless. He's lying. Like, you are about as chill as someone who's ever drafted as chilled before. I guess you're feeling good after last week still, huh?
No, it's just that this is my second home.
This is your second home, so you're just gonna
And I'm just relaxed.
sweatpants and
Because I like to relax. I don't like to tense up when I'm doing this.
I get that. That makes sense. Okay.
You make me mad sometimes.
You make me mad. Make me very angry.
You make me very angry.
Very angry.
Just from out of no,
Very
with no
angry.
context why.
All right. Well, if anyone has watched these episodes, or you will know that is the truest thing that we were going to say.
This is going to be
today.
a Frenemies 2.0.
Yeah. This today's draft. I'm excited about it. I'm just going to mention it right now. I'm going to do this off the top. Someone sponsor us, because this would be a great moment to say today's draft is brought to you by. But we can't fucking say that. I'm looking at the camera, man, because I'm disappointed. How disappointed am I? Wait around till high noon. See what we're doing this week. It's different. It's different. It's a fuck you to all those places that have refused to sponsor us so far. But let's just get into the rules of it, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, Friday night drafts, best adaptations of books. 4 rounds of the draft tonight. 3 standard rounds, followed by 1 wild card round. All of our picks are final. The order is going to be determined by highest card. Brian is doing stuff with that deck right now. Aces are high. Trades are allowed. However, all participants must end the draft with 4 picks. We didn't have a trade last week. We had a trade the week before. I liked it. It's cool. Spices it up. And then high noon is going to occur during rounds 2 and 3. We'll go into our draft-specific rules here. Once again, best adaptations of books. The intellectual property must have originated as a book. It cannot be a manga, a graphic novel, or nonfiction. Those are all excluded from the draft tonight, mainly because we could have like a whole draft on each of those. So it's just books.
Now, I had a question. So poetry doesn't count, right? Because some...
If you have something that you want to, like, I'll allow it. Poetry, I'll allow poetry because we're never going to have a best adaptation of poetry draft. So if you have some really nice poetry one you want to throw in, that's fine with me.
I'm not saying that I do, maybe.
But if you do, then that's okay, though, I'm saying. Because guess what?
As a book?
I think that counts. Yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Because it's not a manga, graphic novel, or nonfiction.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Good thing to get into beforehand. Yasha's fucking on his phone, not even paying attention.
On my notes.
Okay, you're looking at your notes, eh? The adaptation could be from any it could be in at any medium. So we can draft movies, we can draft music, we can draft paintings. I don't know. The core of the story. But however, so the rule is that it doesn't have to be like a straight up like pure adaptation, but the core of the story must be present there. So whether that's having characters that exist,
it needs to be recognizable.
Yeah, it needs to be recognizable and known as like, okay, this is an adaptation of something. So it can't just be like something it was like influenced or something.
Yeah.
An example that I'll give there is I would say that There Will Be Blood for the purposes of this draft is not a book adaptation. Because ultimately the movie, it's it took ideas from a book, but it's not the book.
Now I'm in trouble.
Okay.
That got him up.
Now I'm in trouble.
You're in trouble. That was your first overall pick, probably.
No, not the first. Probably the third.
Okay. Wow. All right. But I will say that.
It might still count, but we might be up for debate. So
okay. We'll see. I don't know.
Yasha picks his first round.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Brian, hand out the cards, man. Let's get this order going down. What's going on
I don't
here?
think.
Let's do it. All right. I'm excited. Get this draft going.
No. Now I'm a little worried. Oh, shit.
There's just one option that was taken off the board.
You took one option. Okay.
One option. As I said, all right.
I lost this anyway, so.
I think I lost.
Oh, I got a jack.
We are tied.
Oh, okay.
Hard is higher.
Hard is higher. Right. So, Brian, you are third.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Sean, hit the round one.
You know what I mean, man?
Well, okay, so let's just go to Yasha because, you're going to pick.
Now, the competition begins. Prepare yourselves for round 1. Fight!
All right, so I know what you guys are going to say should be number 1. But I'm just going to preface my draft by saying this. I think that the best book adaptations are when the adaptation is superior to the book. Like that, it just blows away the book so much that adaptation is what ultimately, when the intellectual property is named, you think of the adaptation before you think of the book, and that's The Godfather, arguably the greatest movie of all time, and was adapted from Mario Puzo's book. It was also written by him. When you say the words The Godfather, you don't think of the Godfather book. You think of Godfather the movie. As I said, it's one of the greatest movies of all time. I know everyone was expecting me, I'll just say it, was expecting me to say Lord of the Rings, but no. For how I want to draft tonight, I'm going to say that I think that The Godfather is the best because, as I said, unlike your Lord of the Rings, The Godfather it's a movie. It's a movie. It's not even like a book adaptation at this point. It's just so known solely as a movie despite being adapted from a book. So that's what I'm putting as number 1.
That's interesting. I didn't think you'd pick that one of all things.
It's not my favorite movie, but I think most people would tell you that it's the greatest movie of all time, right?
Here's the thing. I didn't know it was a book.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It was originally a book. Yeah.
All right, here's the thing, though. Is the book encapsulate all 3 parts? Or is this
the
first?
I'm just talking the first movie.
The first Godfather.
Yeah, the first Godfather.
Okay.
Which was directed, which was adapted specifically from the book. They actually bought the rights to the book before it even got published. So they bought the rights of the movie beforehand, and as I said, it's known more as a movie than it is as a book. So that's what I think is the best adaptation of a book. And you guys, as I said, this is a draft where even though it sounds like there might be like I think we can have very differing opinions on what the best adaptation is. Some of you might say you could say the most faithful adaptation is the best. As I said, I think it's just whatever it is. I'm going to be drafting tonight the ones that shatter, as I said, that just overshadowed their book counterparts by such a degree. So anyways, that's my pick. Yeah, so you're up, man. Unless you got some shit to say about the
you
Godfather.
technically already said. I think personally that Godfather is a good pick. It's interesting, simply because if I hadn't known that it was a book adaptation, I would have been like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
because I think for me personally, Godfather Part 2 is the most superior, and then Godfather Part 1 second, and then the third one, obviously, everyone lives in infamy.
Yeah, that's personal opinion.
Yep.
Though. I think the Godfather, as I said, it's
and
the
again,
Godfather.
Now that I know it's a book, it's interesting that you picked it. I guess I think it has merit because that's one of the greatest films ever made.
Yeah,
Some of the greatest actors ever in the time, and I props to that one.
All right,
but for my pick personally, I think it's going to be you already made mention to it a couple times already, unfortunately, but Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
specifically the first 3 books.
Yeah.
Just because simply that was my favorite.
Let me ask Brian this.
In terms of fantasy, in terms of like introducing me to fantasy, Lord of the Rings was the first to do that to me, for me.
Let me ask you though, both of you guys this, but specifically Brian.
This is perfect.
Brian, would you pick the movies or the books for Lord of the Rings?
Personally, why are you asking him? It's my fucking turn. What the fuck is this?
Because you're going to be biased. I want to know his.
No.
And you can't lie. I already know the answer.
Now, it's my turn to pick, actually, right? So
no.
Okay.
I didn't even get to explain my shit. Why?
Well, honestly, I'm kind of cutting you off because we already talked so much about Lord of the Rings on the channel.
Okay.
Like, do we really need to go into Lord of the Rings that much more?
Not really. No. I was just going to say a justification.
I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm just saying why I picked the Godfather.
Okay, I was just gonna say why I'm picking the adaptations. But Brian,
why do you think the movies are better than the books?
I think personally, yeah. Okay. I think Return of the King is better than the adaptation. Better than the book in terms of adaptation, in my opinion. That was the one where it was like the most emotional, most impactful one. And I'm also picking these based on successful book franchises, based on those who made the biggest blockbuster hits, in my opinion.
Okay.
So like those who made big in the box office.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Book adaptation. That's kind of like the plan I had here.
Yeah.
But Brian, continue with what you were
So
saying.
the question you had is good because I'm also going to explain what I think.
I think that's good. So we've all kind of given an idea.
Yeah. What a best adaptation is. For me, it's when the adaptation tries to be faithful to the original story, but more importantly, right, does a good job of translating the story to another medium.
Yeah.
To the degree that people are gonna love that IP. Right?
Yeah.
And a lot of them are gonna go back to the original source material.
Yeah.
And the whole story, like the original story of it, right, will just get a larger following.
Yeah.
And the community of it will grow.
It grows. Yeah, so, I see what you're saying.
So
we aren't talking about comic books, but for example, what Marvel's done for Marvel comics.
So for me, the adaptation doesn't have to blow the original source material out of the water.
Yeah.
Obviously it can, and what you said falls under my definition.
Yeah.
But I have sort of a wider net.
Yeah.
So I would have chosen Lord of the Rings. And to your question, I can't really choose because for me, the books and the movies are Lord of the Rings. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The two
they're so both
make
so
each other.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can literally watch the movie, love it, go to the books, get the full depth of it, and then go back to the movie, So Lord of the Rings definitely would have been my pick. Okay. if The Godfather was a good pick.
It was an interesting pick. I
Um,
didn't think you'd take that one, but good.
So I have 2 picks that I could have chosen for number 2, and since I'm number 3, might as well go with this.
Okay.
I will go with the Witcher adaptations,
Oh,
To the video games?
well,
the video
To
games,
the video games or
and
to the
the
sh-
Netflix series.
okay, hold on.
Whoa. You
It's
can't
not
put-
finished.
That's no, wait. No,
Because here's the thing.
No,
Let me tell him. Because here's
Now,
the thing.
I'm specifically going for the games.
Here's
okay,
the
because I
thing.
said you have to pick one.
Yeah,
That's 2 out.
Oh, the
Yeah.
games? Oh, well,
Okay.
here's the thing. Here's the issue. The games aren't technically adaptations to books. They're what happens after the books.
Now,
Oh.
it is
So you have to.
it is a continuation.
Well, if you considered the show, it would have made a little sense, but the show only did one of the prequel books so
Yup.
far.
I don't know about this. I'm gonna let you guys duke it out. On
Well,
that.
here's my thing. The
I-
books are amazing. I'm not finished them yet. I'm on the 4th one right now. I'm in the middle of the 4th one. I haven't finished reading. But there's 5 books in order of the collection that takes place between what the plot of the games take place in. So by the end of the 5th book, that's where the games start, Witcher 1,
I know.
2, and
I've
you
played them,
know, you played them like me.
Yeah.
And you would know all the characters and everything
Now,
like that.
for me-
Familiarity.
I
But
thought
that's
it was
like a-
damn.
I think that's like what a thing that the author and then the developer CD Projekt Red just planned on. Where it's just like, let's just continue off of where the books were.
Okay, so
But the
you're
thing is,
basically
they're
what-
not books.
Okay,
That's my
but
issue.
just to summarize all of this for the layman, what you're trying to say right now is he didn't pick an adaptation.
Because they're not book. It wasn't based on adaptation from books. It's based off of what was made by a game developer and like the rights given to them by the author
So
of the books.
it's an adaptation because
Of books that haven't been really made yet. Books, technically, you can consider the games.
Okay.
I'm in the middle. I'm
as
kind of
the,
iffy
as
with
the
this.
arbitrator right here. I'm gonna let Brian now. Let's let him
Defend
talk.
yourself. Sorry.
Let's let him
Because that's
talk.
it's an adaptation.
Okay. All right. So you're sticking with it. Witcher game series.
I mean,
Anyways, let him. Okay. Now, why is it great? Let's at least give you that chance to say why they're great. I've never played the games. Tell me
tell him.
as someone who has never played them, why Witcher 1, 2, and 3, is that what you're picking? Witcher 1, 2, and 3? Tell me why they would be on the same level as Lord of the Rings and The Godfather.
I think in terms of the gaming scene,
Yeah.
like you have like the old classics, right? That will forever live in like people's hearts, like Final Fantasy and like all
Okay.
those things. But in the modern era, Witcher did like an amazing job creating like an open world story.
Okay.
Graphics were phenomenal. Gameplay, it started out as buggy. That was sort of, it's a meme now with
Yeah.
CD Projekt Red, but it was really the game that really propelled that game studio.
Okay.
And now we're gonna get more great games from them as a result.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
the books, right? The books set up this. It's an adaptation in that it's the story. It's the story of the same character. It's the same.
Yep.
Like it's not.
Yasha hates this pick. Yasha, like, I don't think I've ever. I'm just gonna say that, like,
Brian?
I'm not gonna disallow the pick. I think the pick continues.
I think it's
But this is the most, I think, frazzled.
Where did he
I've
get-
seen
where did he-
Yasha on the
I
show
mean,
before.
I think it's a bold pick.
I
Like,
don't really want
but-
to. You already like shit on it so hard that I don't even really want to like give you any more time to do it.
But-
this is good. This is
Yeah.
good content.
I know, but here's the thing. You can basically call it like the books set up what goes on in the games, but the games wouldn't have happened without the books. But they're not adapting from the books; they're adapting from like the generic plot of the books and mashing it together, the characters that were in the books into the games,
Okay.
and then making it their own sort of story, plot line, everything. It's not based on what Andrzej Sapkowski, I think I'm pronouncing it right, kind of did in the books,
Yeah.
but they're trying to like pay tribute to it and based on the games. I don't know. There's
I
somewhere.
think
There's
you literally defined what an adaptation is.
no.
I think-
but
well,
this wasn't an adaptation
okay,
of the books.
Okay, but let me go back to the. this is what I'm going to say this, and then we're done. Okay. The rule tonight was that it did not have to be a direct adaptation. These were all rules that we agreed upon last week when we were here. The rules tonight was that the core of the story must be present and the characters can. We're not just talking about direct adaptations. I see your point, and there's going to be people on the internet who agree with you. So just give them a point.
I'm sure there's a
give
CD
them a point
project.
and say, agree with me.
You
And
guys
then
can
let's
agree
move
with
on
me
to
on
round
this.
2.
We can have a poll or anything, but I feel like it's going to be. I'm talking to people. I feel like it's going to be like there's someone out there that's an expert on this who's a bigger Andrzej Sapkowski fan than I am, but like they can probably explain it.
So
even
basically,
better.
you're saying someone should destroy Brian's picks in the comments. We're going to leave it at that, and we'll go down to round 2.
You already know what it is. It's another round. Round 2. Get yourself prepared now for round 2.
All right, round 2. I get the first pick. Man, I'm going in such a. I know my draft is just going to be so different than your guys, but here's what I'm going with. I am picking No Country for Old Men. One of my favorite movies. I think one of the Coen brothers' best movies. It is, Cormac McCarthy. I do enjoy him, but I just think, I've read the book, and because it is one of what you were talking about. It is a work that is so good that you want to go read the book. You want to go do this other stuff. The book's good. It's not Cormac McCarthy's best book. I don't think anyone out there would say it is his best book. He has much better books. Blood Meridian is better. The Road's better. But the movie is fantastic. Arguably the best movie so far of the 21st century. So as I said, I love it. And once again, when you say the words "No Country for Old Men," you think of the movie. You think of Anton Chigurh and what's the actor's name?
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem playing him. You think of the the movie and the movie again. So yeah, it's just a masterwork, an amazing movie.
Tommy Lee Jones' best performance, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. And No Country for Old Men. That's my pick.
You took my second pick right there, unfortunately.
Yeah, was that? Yeah, I knew it was going to be.
That was my second pick.
Okay.
That's my favorite Coen Brothers movie of all time. I watch it at least once a month.
What's a month?
It's on Netflix.
You just love nihilism, man.
I just like the movie. I just like the film.
No, I'm just joking. It's a great movie.
I think I had the book a while ago. I took a crack at it, but I never finished it, unfortunately. But I feel like the ambience and the whole adaptation of the film, and the fact that there's no music, it's just fucking wind.
Yeah.
And all that shit fits it in perfectly to that sort of bitterness and suspense and shit like that.
It's perfect. It's a Western.
It's a Western,
right? But it's a Western. It's almost like the logical conclusion to Westerns. They should have just stopped making them after.
Well, the whole thing is
they should have just been all right, Westerns are done. We've done it. It's perfect.
Well, that's the thing. It was trying to symbolize there's an end to this sort of vigilante type police work for the sheriff and shit like that. And then there's bigger things that are too big for them to fucking deal with. Yeah, it's an unbelievable movie. If you've never seen it, what's wrong with you? Go watch it. I saw it I saw it with my dad when it
first came out. Same year.
It was great.
One of the best picture that
when I saw it, it scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Javier Bardem.
Oh yeah, you would have been. I was preteen.
Yeah, I was maybe 11. I think it was.
So to me, it was cool as shit. Have you seen the Matt movie?
Have you seen it?
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
of course he's seen it.
I don't know.
If you watch Burn After Reading, he's seen No Country for Old Men.
For sure.
But No Country for Old Men.
You like that pick, Brian? You like that pick? Is that on your list?
Well, yeah, No Country for Old Men.
Probably not, because you probably didn't even know his book, did you?
It was number 4.
Okay, nice.
That was my number 2.
As I said, Cormac McCarthy. The other thing too with the book is, have you guys read any Cormac McCarthy?
I read half of it.
What's the word? He's a one of a kind writer, really. His style is super weird. His punctuation, his choices for punctuation, dialogue, it's just bizarre. So reading it can almost be difficult.
Yeah.
And he's so dark. Yeah. As I said, it's just, again, this is an adaptation where the movie outshines the book So that's all I'm going to say about it. Yashi, you get your pick.
Well,
now.
since you took my second pick, I feel I have no choice. This one's.
I gave you Lord of the Rings at least.
Yeah, I know. But that I didn't think you'd say that one. I was hoping for that one. But I guess for this one I'll go into the horror genre.
Oh, nice.
In here.
Interesting.
But more specifically, a film that was, I think, very kind of influenced my taste a little bit growing up, and then as a horror film itself, it's just a classic. It's a must-watch. You have to watch it all the time. I watch it all the time on Halloween, and that's Stephen King's adaptation by Stanley Kubrick.
The Shining. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally feel like
That was
the
on my
adaptation is better than the book. I found the book, for me personally, reading Stephen King, my experience, I get bored quickly of his work.
Yeah, because he's just like a pop writer, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's no, like, I don't find
Like,
King
he
has
wrote
any
It and The Stand in like a week on a cocaine binge.
He's known for his stories. He's not known for having like an incredible
Coherence.
prose or anything. You know,
I
no
know.
one's like, oh, Stephen King's prose. You know what I mean?
Well, like,
that's
reading-
not. It's
reading-
pop. It's
Reading The Shining
Yeah.
compared to watching the film, I find I get more of a impact watching the film rather than what's
so
read to me.
like
So I think it's a great adaptation. I think it does well.
yeah.
And I think it just like also adds sort of that uniqueness that Stanley Kubrick has in his style of filming as well.
Yeah, so famously, Stephen King hates The Shining, hates the movie, and I honestly believe it's because it's so much better than his book. Like it is. He like Stanley Kubrick really took the ideas that Stephen King had and just like really made a completely different movie. Like it barely even, it resembles the book a little bit, but
Yeah.
not a whole lot. But it's so much better than the book. And as I said, it was definitely on my list. It's one of my. I love that movie. I love the.
They
Shining.
recently made Doctor Sleep, which was the adaptation of the sequel to
Yeah,
the book.
yeah,
And that movie was actually pretty underrated. I actually enjoyed it. It was really good. It was actually quite It was actually it was a really good movie.
No, as I
It
said,
just got
I like
underappreciated
the
because it came out.
I like The Shining a lot.
But The Shining specifically.
My
is
favorite
just like-
scene is obviously the weird blowjob bear scene.
Yeah.
If anyone's seen that,
Yeah.
before, if you've noticed that before in it. I remember watching that as a child and having no idea what's going on. Like, what the fuck is that? Still to this day.
As a kid,
Someone, can you explain it in the comments? What's going on in that scene? Let me know. All right.
yeah, it's also one of those films adapted from a book that had such an impact culturally.
Yeah, for sure. Although it
And
was
all
it
the
was-
media references we have today are probably from the show.
Oh yeah, it was actually it got like most of Stanley Kubrick's films, it did not get a good critical reception when it came out. But that's just Kubrick. Loved with time. All right, I think we've talked enough about The Shining. Ryan, what you got for us now? Where are you going now? Where are you going now?
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
That's
Yeah,
a-
it's
that's
pretty-
a- that's a good pick.
There's your comeback pick. That was on my list. It's not my favorite movie, but it's
Not my favorite movie.
Yeah, but it's
Not my favorite King adaptation.
yeah.
I think there's way. I
But
think
it's
Shining's
number
the
one
best.
on IMDb. Am I going to talk shit about the pick? No. Like everyone loves it.
It's understandable. I
Do you love it? It's not one of my favorite. movies.
It's
I'm just saying it's not one of my favorites.
I
Godfather
never-
isn't one of my favorite movies either.
I think I have only watched that movie 5 times.
I've probably watched it like twice.
I've only watched it once.
It's great.
Yeah.
But it's not like I need to watch this again and again. You know?
Yeah, I've never quite understood why it has like the cachet that it does, like why it's so loved on IMDb.
I felt it was on par with Green Mile. Like I think
Yeah.
Green Mile was another good Stephen
Green
King.
Mile is kind of more interesting, but But here's the thing, as I said, in terms of just a crowd pleasing pick,
Yep, it's iconic.
that's the Shawshank Redemption. Yeah, it had to get picked at some point during this draft. Man, there's a lot of picks left though.
There's
Like we
lots.
should almost made this a 5-round draft. There's so many fucking adaptations of books. But there we go. All right, I'll do a little quick recap on our draft so far. I've already got our J's rolled. So make sure to come back after for high noon because well the thing is, man, is that it's gonna be an interesting high noon. This is gonna be a different kind of high noon. All right. Okay. And let's get her going. Let me.
All right, boys, girls. So.
I didn't do it. You did. I didn't know. I don't know. I'm just like I'm waiting another day, then it's all over. Unless you say you want me back, I'll swing by today when you're gone. Nothing but late. I'm looking back on all of the ways, but you already spoke. That God's on his way. When trouble's far, especially in this place and in ordinary town, with ordinary ways. I'm running from the night. I'm running from the night. He's waiting for you, waiting another day, then it's all over. It's coming my way. She coming back. You went by yesterday, she was supposed to be alone for the whole day. But looking back, you can see all the ways she was always born. My God, what a lady. Troubles fast, especially in this place and ordinary time, ordinary way. I'm running from the man. I'm running from the man. I'm running from your man. Running from your man.
Stocks went upstairs about 19% overall before the market makes over 1 million. For those who do not though, I'll play this Yeah, that's right. Don't even think about it. Just go out and buy everything.
She's waiting for, she'll wait another day, then it's all over. Can't go on this way. We're trying to find, especially in this place and in ordinary time, with ordinary ways. Oh, call me when you're lonely. Baby, don't call me. Oh, it's so boring. Oh, call me.
Nothing's gonna make me stop. I've been running up and down the block. Inside my head and in my thoughts, I know it's gotta change. We're in this beautiful system, hooked up and it's not discussed. Inside my head and in my thoughts, we know it's gotta change. Tired of all these power stuff. They just walk along and brush it off. Act like they don't give a fuck and are living in vain. But don't stop. Everyone, let's gather up, show them what we are worthy of. A life that we can live with love, without seeing all this pain. I think that we've had enough. We've been running up and down the road, and nothing's gonna make us stop. We just wanna see a change, but don't stop, don't stop. Broh, but we're at the stop. Don't stop, don't stop. Broh, we're at the stop. Feel it coming, the change we're wanting. Nothing's gonna get in our way. Feel it coming, feel like running. I just want to shoot away. Nothing's gonna make me stop. I've been running up and down the block, inside my head and in my thoughts. I know it's gotta change. Feel it coming, the change we want. Nothing's gonna get in our way. Feel it coming, feel like running. I just want to shake it away. I'm around town, break another day, fuck another one, yeah, to leave on the way. Can you take me away from here? I'm a stray, yeah. Can't find a way out of here, I'm a out around town, break another day, fuck another one, yeah, leave on the way. Can you take me away from here? I'm astray, yeah. Can't find a way out of here. I'm alone. You better wait, you better follow, you better listen to what I saw. You better wait, you better follow, you better listen to what I saw. I'm on the way, I'm on the way, I'm on the way. Got the fever, it was lovely. I got so eager, finding those above me. I shouldn't be leaving, everyone loves me. Couldn't be legal, they can't touch me. I'm a believer in all that's bloody. An underachiever, I'm nobody. American Eagle, no one can love me. American Eagle, no one can touch me. They reach me, they surround me, they teach me, they upon me, they need me, they need me, they need me. 'Cause I'm not going back down here. 'Cause I'm not going back to there. 'Cause I'm so I'm not going back to there. There's something about summer that brings me to my knees. A blissful slumber is all I ever really need. Thinking about something, but nothing's really in between. A whistle of thunder, it's a wonder that it's guaranteed. They reach me, they surround me, they teach me, they call me, they need me, they need me, they need me. There's something about summer that brings me to my knees. This whole summer is all I ever really need. On Fridays, get loaded. Denial, get coated by a vial. White snowflakes. I'm loaded. Child, breaking dinner, cross a mile. Get loaded, crack a smile. I'm loaded. Bones by me stuff. Head
That's where I read.
broken from the start. How can it
Let's do this. Talkin, buds. Talkin, buds. Talkin, buds. That should be our new song. Talkin, buds. Just talking buds, and we're talking about marijuana.
Man, I don't even know why I should put this on, but I'm still going to.
We don't want to talk.
Sometimes in life,
You gotta get away from the competition, bitch. Let your head get clear. Open up your mind to new possibilities and new avenues of thought. Over here at Cultured and Shit, we like taking a break, smoking a little green stuff, and talking buds.
Welcome to a very special episode
Talking buds.
of Talking Buds. It's an important episode today. Because,
very important.
Today is a retribution episode, man. This is our 8th episode. 8 episodes. And not one single.
On the damn spot.
Not one single OCS place
Not one.
has given us
Not one.
not even a gram for free. They didn't give us papers for free. Nothing.
Nothing.
So you know what we're doing tonight?
Nothing.
Rogue. We're going rogue. We're going out to a spicy little place called the Gray Market. And you know what we're gonna do there? We're gonna buy a whole bunch of weed for way cheaper than you can get it through somewhere else. They might be legal. We're not gonna say where we got it from, but if you are a gray zone company group, I don't know what you call yourselves, sponsor us, man. All we'll require from you is an ounce a week. We will require an ounce a week. If you're a shady company, you have to send us an ounce every Friday. We'll review that ounce every Friday.
Every Friday.
If it's very good weed, we will maybe be willing to take half an ounce every Friday. But that's my offer. Shady organizations of the world, we aren't
The green
selling
syndicates
out.
of
We've
the world.
always been sellouts. What?
Yeah. Can't sell out if you.
You can't sell out if you've always been. If you always have been a sellout. Yasha, what are you showing over there, man?
Private.
Can you not do that type of stuff right now? You know, look at his face though. Look at his smile. It's charming. I hope the camera can pick it up. All right, let's get back.
There was a picture of a
Talking buds. I'm not going to say where we got the weed from. I'm not going to say how we got it, but here's what I am going to tell you. How much did an ounce of this cost?
Not a lot. I don't know.
$45 is what
Something
you
like
told
that.
me.
Yeah.
Because so $45
I'm going to that.
for an ounce, and it's lemon skunk is the
Yeah.
type. Do
Yeah.
we know what lemon skunk is? Is it an indica?
It's a 22% sativa hybrid.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh.
Interesting. There we go. So 22% sativa hybrid, $45 ounce. We're not going to say how we got it, but it might have been a small little shop called the Gray Market. Get all that. Not black market, not white market stuff, but gray stuff. In between.
Mixing of black and white.
Yeah,
Gray.
Gray zone. Just like watching an old movie. All right, Brian, what's your rating?
I've had this before,
Yeah.
so I knew it was going to be a solid purchase. This is a solid 7.5 for me.
Good score, Yasha.
Oh man.
You don't like this shit.
No, I fucking love it. What are you talking about? I've had this before.
Okay.
No, dude, this shit's great. This I got a good ounce of it a while ago, and that lasted me a good 2 months. I just finished it on Wednesday, actually.
Shit.
I had a date, and I
Because he
rolled.
comes and smokes all of Brian's weed. But anyways.
Yeah, that too. But also, yeah, it's like a really good weed.
Yeah.
This girl I was seeing the other day, and we had 3 joints of this lemon skunk,
Nice.
and she said that's probably her favorite strain she's ever had.
Oh, damn. All right.
So I would buy it again, and honestly, I'd give this an 8.5.
Big score alert. I'm closer to Brian on it. Ooh, but I need to think of my own scores here. Our last sativa. So I'm trying to compare this now. The last sativa that we had was from OCS. I gave it a 7.2. And that was the score that came to mind for this weed, too. Yeah, I'm actually going to score it exactly the same as our only other sativa on the show. I'm going to give it a 7.2. I think it's not as good as that government shit that I got that one time. That tasted a lot better.
Yeah.
But because of the price, I have to give it the exact same score because
I personally think it tastes really nice.
You know, it tastes good. It just doesn't taste as smooth as that other shit. But that's expected. It's a $45 ounce.
Yep.
And it's not as fresh, obviously, but it's good weed.
That factors into the price.
You know, so 7.2.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it's kind of, you know, good for the show. Hey, whether you're OCS, whether you're an illegal company,
We will
you
take
can,
you on.
you can get a 7.2. All right.
Okay. Back.
Boy, where are you there? Your stupid fucking hat, stupid face. We're done with all this pussy stoner shit, and we're getting back to the real stuff. It's round 3.
All right. So back to round 3. I have the first overall pick here. Let me just say, though, and I should have maybe mentioned this, I'm willing to trade the pick. If one of you two want to jump up right now so you can secure a pick that you have in mind, I'd be interested in it. But here's what you're going to have to give me. You're going to have to give me your veto power. Yeah, next time you get veto power, I know both of you fuckers don't have it right now. Next time you got to give it to me, though. That's your veto power will be my veto power. If you want the first overall pick this round, I'm shaking it up a little bit. I don't give a fuck. If you want it, you give me your veto power for your next veto power.
If I'm going to give you your veto power, give me your best third pick.
What?
What?
You want me to pick? Like, do you the pick for you?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, okay. You want to do the trade?
The trade for my veto power.
Yeah, you give me veto power, you get this pick.
That's tricky, but there is a chance that the next veto won't be a veto. We'd probably have something that we like. So.
You don't get the veto for another 2 weeks anyways.
And not that it matters. I haven't really vetoed other than that 1 week for that specific fucking topic.
Yeah.
But fine. Let's do. Actually, no. I won't.
You're so close.
But if I trade, can I trade with Brian?
What do you mean?
You trade it to me, and then I trade to Brian.
What?
You want to?
You want to do a 3-way? Okay, you know what? This is getting too complicated.
Can we do that?
Brian, do you want the pick?
No.
Yeah, there you go. He's not
fine. I'll take it.
So you're giving me your next veto power.
You can have my veto power now.
All right, just shake it. You get my pick.
Do that deal?
I take your pick. All right.
Well, I don't really care about veto.
All right.
Veto shouldn't
All
even.
right, nice. I like it. No, I know you have a pick right now that you want to make. So you get to make it.
Well, this one's going to be an iffy one. It's kind of takes tough.
That was exciting.
It's a good trade, but I don't.
I thought Sean was going to pick this.
No.
There's a good chance I would have, though. What is it?
It's-
He wanted the first overall pick. Let him have it.
It's the third pick.
Yeah, let him
Who
have it.
cares?
Let him have it.
Stupid trade.
He doesn't
Okay.
like his veto
No.
power anyway. So there you
It's
go.
not that I use it.
Yeah, now I have it.
Can I just go?
Yeah, go,
Okay,
please.
great. So this one's a bit difficult here.
Please.
This one's a bit difficult.
Okay.
This one's a bit difficult. I'm really high right now,
Yeah.
so my
Lemon Skunk's doing its thing.
judgment may be haze, and Brian will shout blaspheme at me.
Okay, blasphemy.
But
Like you did to him earlier, if anyone.
But this is one that kind of where I think both the books and the film are both great,
Okay.
but also like they're kind of infused together in a way that like they're both good in their own way,
Okay.
and that the films kind of add into a better series. And that's obviously the author. She's gotten a lot of flack, being kind of overrated and stuff like that.
Oh, I know what he's going to do.
But it has to be the Harry Potter series
Okay.
of books.
Okay. Okay.
Simply because that was books I read in my childhood, and then watching the films kind of gave it that same excitement, and especially at the same time as being like one of the best continuous films out there, adapted from a book, from a set of books, 7 books, but put into 8 movies, which I think was done extremely well. I think it's probably the best third pick, simply because of like how big Harry Potter has been.
Well, we're just talking about the films, right?
Yeah.
And even though the
themselves
even
as
though the
well.
people would be like, oh, the books are more influential, the films are how many fucking YA every studio
Well, here's the
has
thing.
been trying
You
to
hate
find
Harry Potter.
No, I do. No, but I'm actually making a good point for you right now. What I was gonna say though is that every single movie studio since Harry Potter started coming out as movies has been trying to create their own Harry Potter, and none of them have been able to.
Which I wanted to add
with any success.
Which I actually wanted to add, because when you think of stupid ass picks like, well, if you think of like fucking Twilight and Hunger Games, they were trying to do the exact Mortal Instruments.
Yeah. As I said, there's been like a billion.
So many
of these.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called? Insurgent.
Yeah. Like there's so many.
Hannah and all this stuff that was trying to follow that same Harry Potter formula,
and none of them were able to do it.
And they sucked.
Yeah, like
well, Hunger Games and Twilight kind of made it. But it still was. They were trying to do what Harry Potter.
Although
did.
I need to tell the internet, I hate Harry Potter. Come at me. If you hate it, come at me.
But I think for me, Harry Potter was for me as a kid and in high school, that was my shit. And then reading the books was my shit too. But then now you see Harry Potter now. J.K. Rowling's a transphobe idiot.
Yeah, for sure. We're not gonna let that. I think we're judging,
but also
we're literally just talking about the films.
I know, but also what we're seeing with the other book adaptations of this universe, like Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, none of those count. Right?
Things they don't hit the
original.
Same. Yeah. So I feel like Harry Potter as a franchise and as an adaptation has gone into mediocrity at this point.
Yeah, no, but
for me, this is like the third. This is the best third, I think, necessary pick.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those ones that had to be done, right? Yeah, had to be picked here.
That was Ziffy.
Okay, well,
I don't know who's next. Sean.
Now my pick. Okay, so part of the reason that I proposed that trade is because I didn't know what to pick. I needed some more time, but I got an extra veto power out of it.
Like I said, that was
I could pick a deal. I feel like the top three on my board were Godfather, No Country for Old Men, and Lord of the Rings, and then it's sort of everything else down below that is almost like a dramatic
average.
And I did have Shawshank up there too. Oh man, this is hard. I think I got to keep going with films though, because spoiler alert, we're doing a music draft next week, so I'm gonna keep in the movie department and.
Start with a D.
Silence of the Lambs. I'm gonna go with Silence of the Lambs. One of my, I love that movie, man. When it was one of those like movies I saw when I was like a teenager and just like watched like so many times because it was just like so good.
Have you read the book?
And like, no, I've never read the book, but it's another one though where I think when you say the word Silence of the Lambs, you instantly think the movie. I'm trying to stay on theme with my draft here.
Iconic.
When you hear Silence of the Lambs, you think movie. And it's just like The Godfather, just like No Country for Old Men. Silence of the Lambs is one of the greatest movies ever. I don't care what people say. It's one of 3 movies to ever get the sweep of the top 5 awards at the Oscars. No movie's done it since. It won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Screenplay. So it's one of the only movies to ever, as I said, one of only 3 movies to ever have done that. And I love it. Jodie Foster's amazing. Anthony Hopkins is amazing. Just like, as you were saying with the Harry Potter movies, everything else in this realm, like even the TV show, which I kind of enjoyed. The other movies are garbage. The TV show I kind of enjoyed, but it's nowhere close to the level of the original Silence of the Lambs, the movie. And, Jonathan Demme, R.I.P., was, a brilliant director who really, I think this was kind of like just like The Shining that you were talking about earlier. This was like this almost took it even further than The Shining. This was the first, it's a horror movie at the end of the day. It really is. And, it's a thriller. I know a lot of people say it's just a straight thriller, but
I think it's a dramatic thriller, but it's also horror in the sense that when you think Hannibal Lecter, you think horror.
It's such a good movie that, even the Oscars, you know what I mean? And I think it elevated that genre of thriller horror to, a status of, finally... movies like Psycho and The Shining have been appreciated with time, but they weren't appreciated when they came out by critics. Mm-hmm. Silence of the Lambs was just that perfect medley where even critics couldn't deny that it was just fucking fantastic. So,
and I feel compared, I think that's a good pick. I feel like if you said the entire Hannibal film adaptation, that would have been whoa there, buddy. Because I think Red Dragon was meh. I thought it was good, but Edward Norton I didn't like in him.
Yeah, it's like the direct
And then
sequel,
Hannibal
is horrible
because Jodie Foster didn't want to do it. So it was
understandably, she read the book and it's,
the
story
books.
is
Yeah, the
batshit
books.
crazy.
The books are weird.
So anyway, Silence of the Lambs. That's my pick.
Brian.
I'm happy with it. Brian,
Sorry, buddy.
what you got, man? What you got,
It's a
brother?
solid pick, Sean.
Thank you, dude.
Made it easy for me because it was either that or this.
Yeah,
Um,
I too. I'm surprised. I'm wondering if you're gonna pick it.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Ooh, cool. All right,
Yeah.
that was on my list. It was on my list. Not what I thought you were gonna say right now, though.
Obviously, it's not. If you're talking about the quality of the movie itself, like you have to judge it from, like when was it? It was 19. When was it?
It was in the '60s for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think it did a great job of like taking that book
yeah,
and like putting it on screen.
yeah.
The same
yeah.
story, the same message.
There's a-
Acting was
It's superb. Superb for the time period. It is superb.
Yeah.
the acting is great for the time.
yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like everything. It's a classic movie. It's a classic movie. I'm not gonna. I can't hate on this pick at all. As I said, it was on my list. Again, you're talking. I've seen with your list, most of it is stuff where you like both the book and the movie.
Yeah.
I think I still like the book more than the movie. There's something just about the experience of the book. But
I think the book personally. Well, the book was the first thing I read, and I feel like.
well,
that's
yeah, I feel like,
superior.
but there's a reason every English class makes you read the book in high school, and then you have to watch the movie because it is a good movie at least, So
It's a good movie.
it's a good adaptation.
So
for
for
sure.
me, the real importance is the story, right?
Yeah,
And obviously, there's a bias. Like I have biases too for books because that's the original source material, right?
Yeah.
That the way it's written, the fact that it's a book and not anything else, sort of shapes the story itself as well, right? Having said that, though, when the story can sort of transcend it, and you can also enjoy it in another medium
Mhm.
that respects the original source material, and the whole of it is like fantastic.
yeah.
That's what I really want in like an adaptation.
Okay.
What I consider to be great.
All right, cool.
I think with the film too, it's just when you consider the acting in it, Gregory Peck was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, he's incredible.
And then also, I think
Legendary
Robert
role,
Duvall's one of Robert Duvall's first roles. He played the silent man. Can't remember the name anymore.
Yeah, no, good pick. I'm
That's a decent
yeah,
pick.
decent pick, man. All right.
Interesting pick.
Interesting pick. I did not see that one coming. There is one movie that's left on the thing that I
I'm
just
thinking
want to.
you
I just
probably-
want to pick it so bad, but I don't know if I'll be able to because we are at the wild card round.
We might have to end
So
up-
our things tonight are Bizarro, fantasy, sci-fi, drama, action, and comedy. Let's pick it. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Move down. What the? God damn it. Hold up. Sorry, live podcasting. I've got an ad blocker issue. Fucking goddamn
The
ad blocker.
randomizer site.
With the randomizer site. So the sanctity of the randomizer has been broken. Let's try it. See if it works. What are we going to get? What are we going to get? Action. Action.
Wait, what?
Action. It has to be an action property.
An action property.
Like an action.
Like an action would be like an action movie, essentially.
Okay, so something like that.
You know what time it is. Last round of night. Get your best ready. Ready. Spin that wheel. It is the wild card round. Yeehaw!
Okay. Wild card round. Action. All right, I've got two picks, but I got to ask you on my first pick. And this would be my pick, but you guys can tell me if it counts or not. My first pick is a war film. Does that count as an action?
I would assume so. If it has
You really
like,
count that
I
as
think
action?
if action is
Well, it depends on the story, right?
action
I'm
being.
gonna
is
pick
there-
Apocalypse Now if I can. Are we gonna say Apocalypse Now is not action? Because if we are, then I have a backup. I'm not going to be upset. It's up to you guys.
I would say it's a thriller, action thriller, because there's like, I guess it's based off of something, but it's like, yeah, maybe.
It seems like we're too torn up about it.
Like,
I don't know, because I never thought of it as like an action.
All right, you know what?
Film.
I will strike that from the board. I won't take Apocalypse Now. I really wish I could, because it would just perfect my list tonight, but I can't. So what I'm going to pick instead, though, is an equally great action movie picked from, done from a book that no one fucking knows about, and I'm going to pick Drive.
Oh,
yeah.
I know.
One of my all-time favorite movies. I'm just going to say it. Just like you were talking about before, I watch Drive at least once a year. It's one of those movies that, like, this might sound weird, but, like, you know, if you're, like, starting to date a chick and you want to be like, am I really going to vibe with this chick? Like, if she hates Drive, like, I just know that ultimately it's not going to work out between us, because I fucking love that movie. It's one of those movies that, like, hey, if you're a girl out there and you're single, guess who else guess who's a single guy? If you like Drive, give me a shout, because, yeah, I love it. It's one of my, like, all-time favorite movies. It's perfect. It is action, even though it's kind of a subversion on the action. It's very slow. The action occurs in, like, these just outbursts of, like, extreme violence. It's a movie that has influenced countless movies since, in terms of the look of it, how much so many directors have ripped it off. Yeah, it's a phenomenal movie. As I said, I wish I could have picked Apocalypse Now, because it just would have made that was the next movie on my big board. But Drive is I'm happy to pick it, because I love that fucking movie.
I considered picking it in my list.
I was gonna pick.
Like
I was
originally
gonna pick
top 3.
Yeah.
Like I considered.
I was wondering. I was like,
you consider it in your top. Yeah, no, it's still a top 6.
But I feel like Drive can also be sit somewhere in between that drama action, but there is action in it. That's the thing.
At the end of the day,
It's pretty graphic violence.
Yeah, it's an action movie. It's a different kind of action movie. It's a slow.
I would
burn.
say it's slow burn.
It's
It's
like
like
slow
It's like
burn
No
action
Country for
movie.
Old Men. The dialogue's minimal.
But
Stuff
it's
like that.
no, it's different. When it first came out, there was honestly, like, you know, if you're a fan of Refn, you would
One of Refn's
you
better
had seen shit
movies.
like it before. Oh, it's his best. I think
It's his best.
It's his masterpiece.
Next to Valhalla Rising.
It proves that he needs to have, like, he really needs to work with a fucking screenwriter.
Yeah.
Because it's just a great
Neon
movie.
Demon was weird.
Yeah, great movie. Glad I get to pick it. Drive. Yeah, that's my draft.
All right.
See you guys later. No. All right, bro.
So mine, well, this is the worst one. Well, this is an action. It's an action film and kind of a book in the same premise. So that's well, let me just double check this in my notes here, because now I'm having an issue.
He's having issues, bro.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that was my
That was
pick.
your
I was
pick.
gonna pick that
Yeah,
one because that was the best one I could think of. But I
Yeah.
think the next one would be Chuck Palahniuk's Fight Club.
Oh, that's a good pick too.
Just because I love the Fight Club film.
Yeah.
And I didn't know there was a book about it, but Fight Club is just one of those.
Yeah, and
That's
again,
the best one I can think of.
I
I was so close to saying Die Hard, but I don't think that's a book.
No, Fight Club it definitely qualifies for this. Again, you know,
Die Hard is a book.
Is it Die Hard a book?
Yeah.
Are you fucking for real?
originally, let me see. All right, I'm gonna look this up, but
Fight Club. I was gonna say Fight Club.
yeah, it is. Nothing lasts forever. It's known through its film adaptation, Die Hard. Is that what you're gonna pick right now?
So you picked, right?
Yeah, it's done. Picks are final.
I picked
Fight Club. So I actually,
Now-
by the way, I gotta say, I don't really like Fight Club. Too much toxic masculinity.
Fuck
going on
you.
for me. I don't dig it.
Fuck
But,
you.
you know
Fuck
what I mean?
you.
I just gotta say it. I never liked it. I never liked it when it came out. For some reason, we cheer for a white terrorist at the end of the fucking movie.
You're a snake.
I got shit on
You're a
this
snake.
You took on you shit on Witcher games. I'm going to shit on Fight Club. It's a toxic masculine bullshit
deceiving
movie
little
that
snake.
fucking sucks. And we cheer for a terrorist at the end. So
You're a snake.
oh my god, he imagined the guy. It's so fucking stupid. There's no way. There's no way people would follow someone that's like it's just Fight Club. Are you picking Die Hard?
I didn't know it was an adaptation.
Neither did
I was
but
worried.
love
I
it.
thought you were gonna pick it.
No, I love
I
Drive
thought
more
he
than
was
Die
gonna
Hard.
pick it.
I wanted to, but I didn't think it was a book.
'Cause it has a different title, but it's still an adaptation.
I
Such a
didn't
good pick. High five, man. Good fucking pick.
Fuck
I like
you,
Drive way
Sean.
more
Now,
than Die Hard, but
There
still
is
good
another
pick.
one that I considered. I do pick Die Hard. Yes, the action movie. Come on.
Yeah, you won.
And,
You won the wild card round. That's sick.
Alan Rickman's defining
Sick.
role.
I didn't even know that was a fucking adaptation.
Now, I consider Jurassic Park, but
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
that's more of a
fantasy.
fantasy suspense
Sci-fi.
thriller, a bit action at the end.
Oh, you snake.
So-
It would go more into the other.
Yeah.
Just as Apocalypse Now,
Yeah.
as I said.
And another thing, is Fight Club an action movie, or is it like a psychological?
I'll smack you in
You're
the fucking
getting
face.
retribution right now for your
Like-
first round takedown.
Like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
fighting scenes.
He said
Yeah.
that Drive wasn't an action movie. Drive is
But-
clearly an action movie. There's nothing other than action really
You
going
guys
on.
know
Fight Club?
Lynch's.
There is no action really in Fight Club.
Yeah,
you have
there is.
violent
There's
fighting
fight
scenes,
Yeah.
but the
There's
story
violent
of it,
scenes, there's fighting.
it's him. It's his mental, right?
Mm.
It,
It's a thriller.
yeah.
It's an action thriller.
I don't know if anyone would call it action. You know what, Brian? There's one thing that you could do
I'm
right
going
now
to fucking
is how
Reddit.
about we look up? I'm just curious. Fight Club.
Just
what?
Google it. Let's
just
see.
Google it
Fight
and
Club.
let's see what it comes up as in terms of
IMDb. Let's go.
I'm going on Wikipedia. You go on IMDb. I'm just curious to see what genre of music it says. Not music, of movie.
Where can I find the genre here?
Action thriller.
Where did you see that? You just yelled that out.
This is from sci-fi.com.
Sci-fi.com.
The TV
So
show.
clearly it's sci-fi.
It
No,
says
it's not
drama in IMDb.
Action,
Ooh,
crime.
really?
thriller.
Drama? Is that all that it's linked as?
It's the genres drama.
Ooh, so
What's Wikipedia
Yasha.
say?
Oh, here we go. Oh, if you just Google though Fight Club genre,
Yeah.
the first one that comes up is action.
So fuck you.
Just Google Fight Club
It's
genre.
an action film.
But either way, though, I see what you're saying.
I would have picked Die Hard if I had known the
But
name
I
of the
think what's
book.
more important though about Fight Club is that it is a misogynistic piece of shit movie that fucking
and it
sucks.
is also a controversial. It had some
You know,
controversy.
I don't know. You
But
all,
I like the film personally.
I feel like you should hate it. I feel like it represents everything that you complained to me.
I like the action in it. I personally like just the whole post kind of concept of it. At the same time, there is a bit of flack it gets, but that was my pick because I was worried Die
Yeah,
Hard
like,
wasn't like that.
Man, I don't know.
So you shouldn't just pick Brian because of that.
No, I'm liking it because you went off so hard on Brian in round one. You're getting a little comeuppance in the wild card. All right, that's the draft, man.
Fuck you.
Let's go. So I'll just do a quick recap here. Yasha, you picked Lord of the Rings films, The Shining film, Harry Potter movies, and Fight Club. Brian, you picked The Witcher video games, The Shawshank Redemption, To Kill a Mockingbird, and Die Hard. I had a great draft, man. Fucking unbelievable picks. The Godfather, No Country for Old Men, Silence of the Lambs, and Drive. We've already done a couple of shout outs, obviously, of what we would have liked to have picked. I said Apocalypse Now, obviously. You said Jurassic Park. Any other movies movies are just pieces of
Princess
work.
Diaries.
Da
Would've
Vinci
been a
Code.
pretty.
The Da Vinci Code series.
I don't know. That's pretty.
That would be under
by
worst.
Dan Brown.
I think that would have to be under
Bizarro.
worst.
That would be
Yeah,
Bizarro.
good Bizarro pick.
Narnia. C.S. Lewis.
Since I kind of
Schindler's List.
The Mummy.
I had Children of Men,
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
A Clockwork Orange.
Yep. Tinker Tailor.
Soldier Spy.
Soldier Spy.
Really, you like that movie?
The
Well,
Ian Fleming.
Again, it's not
James
about whether
Bond.
I like the movie or not.
Fuck.
It's greatest, right?
boring.
Fuck.
Tinker Tailor Soldier?
Ian Fleming's James Bond.
Casino Royale would have been a good pick.
Yeah.
because that's a direct adaptation.
My God.
Shit.
Yeah,
I should have
James
said
Bond.
that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
James
oh, wait.
Bond. Oh wait,
We're
wait,
still
wait,
live.
wait, hold up.
Are we done?
We
Are
have
we good?
we have to do the
The next pick.
next rounds.
Well, we know what it is.
Oh,
right?
by the way, I also wanted to say I really,
And then-
really tonight wanted to pick Animals by Pink Floyd, but I just couldn't because of the parameters that I set for myself. It's an unbelievable album. Definitely the best music adaptation
I would have
of
done
a
what I
book
did to
ever.
Brian in round one.
But
Yeah.
Sean, isn't next week already decided?
Okay, so we have one decided for next week.
Yeah.
Right? So next week we are doing music.
A double whammy.
But we are doing a
Okay.
double whammy next
Right.
week. So we're going to select
So let's just say anything music related, we will.
We will obviously automatically veto.
Yeah.
To give an update on vetoes, I am the only one with veto power.
What did I veto last time? Is that
We
on
both
record?
vetoed. Did we veto at the same time?
Brian, you vetoed last week, so you don't have veto power until July. What was it?
Like 7.
I won't
See?
have veto power till
July 16th. Yasha, you don't get it until like August 11th, dude. You just traded your veto power.
Yeah, I
right?
know.
So I get your. That's
I know.
all right. I like it, and I'm the only one with veto power. So let's do it. So obviously no music, but anything else is up for the gods to decide. We always got to say, someone sponsor us, man. If you're a random picking site, just fucking sponsor us already, or else I'll fucking burn down your building.
But anyway, without further ado, make sure to like and subscribe.
Wait, hold up. I'm
She hasn't picked yet.
I
We haven't picked it? Fuck
No.
me.
Like what? I haven't even said it yet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, next week, big draft, man. Best Canadian musicians. Oh, I don't know. I'm vetoing it. Best
Yes,
Lord of the
veto.
Rings moments vetoed.
Now we're no longer.
We're a little saturated on Lord of the Rings.
So we're all out on that. That's what I said. All right.
Okay.
Although that is
I like
that
this
is
one.
a good one.
I like
this
this
one.
Yeah.
Best practical effects.
Best in movies?
Yeah, best practical effects in movies is what we're gonna do next. Apparently.
Yeah, we have no more vetoes. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, best practical effects.
We have to
I
do
only
it.
have like 4.
I have to do it.
Okay.
I have to do
Alright.
it.
Whole lot.
So no one has veto power until July 11th. Although I think we're gonna be on break then, so we'll have veto power when we get back to it. All right, man.
All
I think
right.
you can safely end it now. Let's go get some food. Yasha, what do you got to say, man?
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, brother, and stay hit.
All right.